This is All Star with your key races and bets podcast for Saturday, May 31st, 2025. This key races and bets podcast is brought to you by amwager.com. AMWAGER. Amwager.com is a great legal online wagering website with great betting tools and perks. Amwager.com is legal for residents of most states. It's U.S. based. It covers most tracks in North America as well as many around the world. Check it out, amwager.com. You can also get the written version of this podcast, the Key Races and Bets blog at amwager.com, by clicking on How to Bet and Ella Star's blog. We're going to start with the May 31st Key Races and Bets with the Rehoboth Stakes. Race 6, Delaware Park, 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, May 31st. The top win contenders are Sunday Girl and Socially Selective. For Exactas, we can include our Disaster. Sunday Girl has won 6 of 8 career races, including 3 in a row. Her most recent win came in the identical non-graded correction stakes in New York, March 2nd, under Katie Davis, who's been aboard for 5 or 6 wins, who rides back in this race. If the field goes as drawn, Sunday Girl should get a great trip in 3rd or 4th, as Miss Harriet, just inside of Sunday Girl on the rail, should go for the front from the start, as she always does, but she'll be hounded early by 1 or 2 other need-to-lead types in Pleasant Embrace and Drafaros. Sunday Girl's coming off 102 and 95 echo-based speed figure efforts, which are very strong, second only the 104 effort Our Disaster, earned when second by a neck in the Vagrancy Stakes 4 weeks ago. Sunday Girl should earn her 7th win in her 9th career start, with a repeat and improving likely off that last effort. Socially Selective ran in the Vagrancy 4 weeks ago as well. The same race Our Disaster finished second in, but she was declared a non-starter after rearing in the gate and being held by the assistant. She finished first or second in 6 of 8 before that. Her best effort ever came at this 6-furlong trip near the end of December, when second to multiple stakes winner Mystic Lake. An effort which she repeated here gives Socially Selective a strong chance at success. Our Disaster is a tough filly, but a record of 4 seconds to go along with 4 wins makes her tough to bet to win at likely low odds, though she is a must to use on Exacta tickets. The difference between Our Disaster and Socially Selective, besides lower odds, is Our Disaster has lost ground and or lost a position in the stretch in 3 of her last 4 races, although she was beaten inches in her last 2. Our Disaster put in a big workout 6 days ago, should run well again, but I think in a tough battle with Sunday Girl or Socially Selective, she may settle for second again. In the Rehoboth Stakes, race 6, Delaware Park, 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, May 31st. Sunday Girl is a good bet at 2 to 1 or more, and she opens at 6 to 1. Socially Selective could be considered for a bet at 3 to 1 or more. And when presented with an opportunity to wager on more than one horse to win, as we can be here, we can gain the best mathematical edge possible by using a Dutching tool to prorate our wagers. There's a free Dutching tool at amwager.com where all we have to do is select the total amount of money we want to bet to win, then select 2 horses, and all the work is done for us, and that's just one of many perks and tools for the horse racing fan at amwager.com. Exacta, Sunday Girl and Socially Selective over. Sunday Girl, Socially Selective, and Our Disaster. Exacta 2 is Sunday Girl, Socially Selective, and Our Disaster over Sunday Girl and Socially Selective by paying both Exactas. If Sunday Girl and Socially Selective run first and second, we win both bets. Moving on to race 7 at Delaware, the Cape Henlopen Stakes. Race 7, 3:29 Eastern on Saturday, May 31st. The win contenders are K Army and Harrow. Possibilities are Lord Eddard Stark and El Siciliano. It appears there will be significant rain in the Northeast over the weekend, leading to a high probability this mile-and-a-half marathon scheduled for grass will run on dirt. If so, the race had 13 original entrants and may just be down to a few. In any case, there are 2 that stick out and 2 others which offer value. K Army ships in from New York for Bill Mott for 3rd place effort in the 9-furlong Fort Marcy Stakes 4 weeks ago. That was his U.S. debut and first race after more than a year. He should improve dramatically off that 3rd place finish when chasing the leader in second for the first mile. He'll love the longer distance, as he won his last 2 races in South America at a mile-and-a-half on turf, and he won at a mile and 3/8 on dirt. Harrow likes to win with 9 wins in 26 races. He won at this mile-and-a-half distance on turf last summer. Although he's 0 for 2 on dirt, he's bred to run just as well on the main track. Saffie Joseph claimed him for a measly $16,000 last April and has gotten the horse to win twice as well as come very close in 2 other starts since changing barns. Lord Aaron Stark at 20-1 starting odds and El Siciliano at 12-1 starting odds add value to our wagers if they run. Lord Aaron Stark can run it this far, no doubt, as he won a stakes at 2 miles in December. He was 60-1 that day because he hadn't won since May, but he's won on dirt and turf and could be closing well when others are tiring. El Siciliano nearly won at this 12-furlong trip on turf in March, his second runner-up effort in a row, and he went well the previous April on dirt when a head shy of second. With just one win in 13 starts this year and last year, he's not a good win bet unless his odds are very high, but he could get a piece for a nice exacta. In the Cape Henlopen, race 7, Delaware, 3:29 Eastern, Saturday, May 31st. K Army and Harrow can be considered for winners at 3-1 or more. Lord Edward Stark and El Siciliano for small bets at 10-1 or more. Moving to the Jersey Derby, race 8 at Monmouth, 4:18 Eastern. The top winning contender is Candytown. This race is also scheduled for grass. And even if run on dirt, Candytown is the one to beat by far. He debuted on turf in January at a mile, which is a tough task. Missed by a half length in the field of 10, then moved to dirt. I assume that was to see if he's good enough to run in the Road to the Derby races at Tampa. And once again ran well, beaten less than a length for the win. He was 6 lengths clear of the third horse. After that, Candytown was given 2 months off to go out a bit, and did. He returned on April 19th on the grass, was very impressive with a 96 equibase speed figure, likely to be improved upon in his second start off the layoff. Candytown gets the rail and Paco Lopez for Pletcher, who ships down from Saratoga where his best horses are. And no matter if the races run on turf or dirt, Candytown appears very tough to beat. In the Jersey Derby, race 8 at Monmouth on Saturday, May 31st, 4:18 Eastern, Candytown should be considered for a win bet at 3-2 or more, a low odds overlay win bet for sure. Moving up to Woodbine for a great race on the grass where the rain shouldn't affect the races. The Royal North Stakes at Woodbine is race 8 at 4:45 Eastern on Saturday, May 31st. The top winning contender is Earhart. Other contenders are Ready to Jam and Gal in a Rush. Luckily, the likely weather in the northeast shouldn't affect this race. In Toronto, Earhart appears to have a pace edge and an overall edge in other categories in the stakes race, having just romped leading from start to finish in her 2025 debut in the Whimsical Stakes 4 weeks ago on the all-weather. She won her debut in a hand ride at 7 furlongs last November at Woodbine, followed it up with a win at 7 furlongs again, 11-length win in December over Woodbine over the all-weather before trying 2 turns for the first time in a stakes race at Turfway Park in January, where she faded to third after battling head-to-head with no easy lead in the first 7 furlongs, something she had not encountered before. Cutting back to 1 turn early this month in the Whimsical, Earhart once again got an easy lead, never looks back. In this race, it appears no other horse wants to take her on for fear of compromising their own chances. Earhart should be left alone once again, improving on what is already the best last race equibase speed figure in the field, 106. As a daughter of Siuni out of a Chamardal mare, this French-bred horse should have no issues running on the grass. Ready to Jam has won twice on turf, both here at Woodbine, and moves back north after a 3rd of 12 try on the grass at Churchill Downs at the a little shorter distance of 5 furlongs, where she finished fast from 10th and missed second by less than a length. Ready to Jam won by 4 lengths the last time she raced on the Woodbine grass last July, and she should run even better than last month in her second start after more than 5 months off, so Ready to Jam should be a factor. Gal in a Rush has finished first or second in 11 of 20 races, and like Ready to Jam, was coming back off a 5-month layoff last month when second to Earhart in the Whimsical. Gal in a Rush has run well on grass with 3 wins and 5 runner-up finishes in 11 races, including one missing a neck in the license fee stakes a little over a year ago, so she's also likely a factor. In the Royal North Stakes, race 8 Woodbine, 4:45 Eastern, Saturday, May 31st, Earhart is another horse that could be a low-odds overlay win bet. I'd bet her as low as 3-2. And then Ready to Jam and Gal in a Rush, whichever is higher odds, I might consider a second win bet at 4-1 or more. For exactas, definitely the number one exacta is going to be Earhart over Ready to Jam and Gal in a Rush. And then we can also box Earhart and Ready to Jam, and we can play an exacta box of Earhart and Gal in a Rush. Moving down to Gulfstream for another great race on the grass, the Powder Break Stakes. Race 11, Gulfstream, May 31st, 6:12 Eastern. The top win and exacta contenders are Candy Gray, Let's Go Coco, and Starship Agenda. Candy Gray gets a 10-post at the 11-horse field running a mile on grass, which is not a problem because that's nearly identical to 3 races back when under Zayas from the 11-post, who rides today. She made the lead from the start, controlled the pace, held on by a head. Zayas also opted to ride Candy Gray over Lady Cha-Cha, also trained by Safi Joseph, and rode her last time out, so it's also important to note that Zayas is choosing Candy Gray. That effort, when she did lead wire to wire, earned a 94 echo-based speed figure, good enough to win in this field. There appears to be no other horse which can keep her from getting the lead in this field and going wire to wire again. Let's Go Coco won her most recent race at this mile turf trip with a 93 figure, not too far off the 94 that Candy Gray earned in her win. And Let's Go Coco earned that win after stalking in second from the start. She's won back-to-back, and Jockey Gonzalez was up for both those wins last June and July. Gets back on after she ships from Tampa to Gulfstream, where she's earned 3 of her 7 wins. Let's Go Coco has a big shot if Candy Gray makes any mistakes on the front end. Starship Agenda won strongly on the Gulfstream course, won before last in February, took 2 months off, then was 5th of 9 in the similar Monroe Stakes a little over 4 weeks ago. However, the Monroe is a highly rated race, so much so that even finishing 5th, this mare earned a 96 echo-based speed figure, higher than the 94 Candy Gray earned in her best representative race, and the 93 Let's Go Coco earned. Likely to run even better second off the layoff, Starship Agenda rounds out 3 main contenders in this race. In the powder break, race 11 at Gulfstream Park, 6:12 Eastern, Saturday, May 31st. Candy Gray should be considered first for a win bet at 5-2 or more. Both Let's Go Coco and Starship Agenda can and should be considered for a second win bet, whichever is higher odds at 3-1 or more. And it's a great race to use Dutchy Tool and Amwager to help prorate your bets. For the exacta, I want to box Candy Gray, Let's Go Coco, and Starship Agenda. You can get the written version of this Key Race and Bets podcast free at Amwager.com. Click on How to Bet in Ella Star's blog, AMWAGER. Amwager.com is a great betting site. If you're not a member, check it out. You'll be happy you did. I'll be betting there all weekend. I want to thank you for listening. Good luck at the races, and we'll talk to you next week.